Right, there we are. I think we're working now. Got a blank screen. Come on, refresh. There we go. Evening all. Gosh, you beat me all to it tonight. You're very keen. That's good. Sorry, I realised I had a green t-shirt on, which doesn't work with the green screen behind me because I disappear and get a spooky flogging head, which is really silly, doesn't it? So yes, had to go and find a more appropriate colour shirt. Right, there we are. Good evening. Let's see who's here. Someone's texting me already, probably saying, "Where the hell are you?" I expect. Let's have a look. Hang on a moment. Either that or they're telling me the live stream's not working. One or the other. That's what it usually is. Brian saying Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Yes, Brian's there as well. Excellent. Right then. Good evening all. Let's see who we've got. Martin, good evening. Peter, Stella, Martin, Kevin, hello. Paul. Brian's got a sunny Cornwall. I have had a little bit of sunshine today. It's been cold though. And windy as well. When I got to rugby this morning, it was really windy. We were all kind of sheltering in the back of my van. It became my mobile office for a bit. Everyone was jumping in the back of the van and get out of the wind. Paperwork was blowing everywhere, and yes, all good fun. Peter N, good evening. Andrew, hello, hello. Sinclair, good evening. Peter C's here as well. Elaine, Roger, Gary the golfer. Roger's daughter and partner here. Can you say hi, Bethany and Ryan? Hello, Bethany and Ryan. Good evening. Have they dragged you into watching this as well? Good Lord. Blame Roger. Make him take you down the pub or something. Mr. Tree Frog's in Scotland. Excellent. Your little car got all the way to Scotland then. That's good. Giving it a good run. That's what we like to hear. Marvellous. Right. Where are we? What have I got to tell you? What have you got to tell me? So, yes. Yeah, loads of people collected today, so that was good from the last auction. I'll be doing the next few days. Not tomorrow, obviously, because it's bank holiday. I need to go and pay some money in the bank because quite a few people paid me cash this time. But Tuesday I'm out. Wednesday probably it'll be. I'll be able to do some of the banking before then. But the rest of it I'll try and get sorted on Wednesday. So if you sold stuff in the auction, I did put a note in the newsletter today. Just let me have your bank details, or if you want to collect cash. Quite a few people paid cash this time. Get in touch, let me know. We can try and meet up somewhere or something. If you prefer cash, not a problem. But yeah, I'm on the case of sorting that out. There's a few odd parcels knocking about that haven't been paid for. Check your email. And there's a couple of things to be priced as well. So on to all that in the next day or two. But yes, I'm doing nothing tomorrow. The day off, as it's Bank Holiday Monday, and then Tuesday, hope all being well, going to Southend on Tuesday with my nephew and niece. Have a look what's going on down there. See if I can drag them all the way down the pier. Didn't manage last time I was there. I decided they didn't want to walk all that far, so they spent most of the day in the fairground. But never mind, we'll see what we can do this time. So that'll be Tuesday. Then Wednesday will be sort of back on the case, really. There we are. Roger's tight, no pub here. Well, after all that money I gave him the other day. Oh dear. Brian says, very happy with the two machines I bought. Sent you pictures of them. Done. Oh, excellent. If you put them on the thing, I'll have to download them and show them on the next live stream. I can't download them. I can't hook my phone straight up. Well, that was a quick job. Excellent. She looks a lot better without her glasses on. Yes, very good. I'll download them and I'll do them on the next one. I might do another one. I did think about doing another live stream tomorrow night as it's bank holiday. Because I've dug out a few. I think it's one from 1966 and one or two from 1970. Coin slots and World's Fairs. I think 66. I think I've only got the coin slot. But some quite interesting articles. I had a quick read through this afternoon while I was at the warehouse waiting for some people to turn up. And Yeah, I've actually left them in the car, so I can't even show you them. Just realised. But yeah, do we fancy another live stream tomorrow? It's Bank Holiday Monday, and have a look at one of the papers. There's some interesting machines in there I've never heard of. There's I noticed a couple of things I didn't know, like a couple of makers of things. There's adverts for, so that's good. I think it was a Crompton's machine I never heard of before in one of them, with a picture and an advert. I've one for Paul to find. Yeah, might do that. Think on that one. We might all be busy tomorrow night. Maybe you're all out. Garage, I got back okay with my machines. Just need to rearrange the games from there to fit them in. Ah, yes, there is always that problem, isn't there? But they'll go in. They always fit. Just shuffle them all around a bit. You can squeeze them in. Dave says, great to see you today. Thanks to the meet at rugby. Really like the lobby cards. Yeah, nice those lobby cards. Some of those lobby cards were lovely, I thought. Really lovely. Just really nice artwork. That sort of the 40s ones, that kind of era, 30s, 40s ones. Just that kind of style. Very nice. I didn't buy any. I should have bought some, really. They were so cheap. I was really busy. I was busy when that auction, that was an automatic auction. And I was up to my eyeballs doing whatever I was doing. Video in slot machines, I think, if I remember rightly. So, yeah. Hence, I didn't really have time to buy any myself. Typical, isn't it? Never mind. Evening, Ollie. It was all good down there as well. Already fitted the Jennings lock. Finally finished the one thing annoying me with my governor. Excellent. There you go. You see, we find all the bits in the end. I know there's a couple of people looking for cash boxes and bits and bobs we didn't have in the last sale, but as I keep saying, they turn up eventually. All the bits turn up eventually. You just have to be patient. If it was easy, it wouldn't be any fun, would it? It's like collecting things, isn't there? So many things to collect. But if you've got them all at once, it wouldn't be fun, is it? Like, as a lot of you know, I collect BMCO machines, British Manufacturing Company, Wall Machines, British Manufacturing Co. There we are. Now I've got, what does it say there? 122 that I know of. Titles. I used to think that some of them I'm not entirely sure if they are. Some of them might be duplicates because it might not be a proper name, but there's at least 100 different ones they made. And I think I own about 50. So I've only got about half of them. But if I could just go and buy them all tomorrow, that'd be boring, really, wouldn't it? It'd be nice. I'd love to. But I've been collecting them for 40 years. That's scary, isn't it? So that means I bought an average of, what, one a year over that time-ish, or just over one a year, I suppose. So the worrying thing is I haven't got another 50 years left, have I, to collect the other 50 I haven't got, and I don't even know if they exist. There's a few out there that I know of do exist that I haven't managed to acquire yet. Either because I don't know where they are, or I do know where they are, and the people won't sell them to me. Which is fair enough, because I won't sell them mine either, so I can't really moan at that, can I? So you just have to be patient and hope that one day they appear in an auction somewhere so I can have a chance to bid for them, or somebody decides to sell them, or somebody rings me up and says, hey, I've got one of those, do you want it? But yeah, there's interesting things like, so some of these on here that haven't got pictures I do actually own, I just never went to photographing them, which is bad, I know. But I can't physically get to them at the minute they're in store. It's one of my many projects to do. That one I own, I can take a proper photograph of that, and I get 5 minutes. That's an old catalogue photograph. 3/6 haven't got. Butterfly, I've got butterfly. See what I mean? Fruity, I haven't got that one. I don't think that one exists. I've never seen it. And so on, but you get the gist. The Royal. Yeah, I think I've got that one. Netball, I've got similar. I don't think it's that one, but I've got a similar one. So on that one I've got. So yeah, tracking them down. That's the fun of collecting, isn't it? Anyway, why was I saying that? Can't remember. Yes, it was about being patient, wasn't it? Trying to find things. That was it. That's what I was saying. Takes time. Bell Bagatelle, I got that one somewhere. It's got quite nice. The bells ring as the balls hit the bells as they come down there. I think that's quite good fun. I like all the tall ones. I've got lots of these tall machines. Draft, I've got that one. These are about, with the top flash on, they stand about 4 foot tall. They're quite impressive. French Bagatelle, got that one. Haven't got this one. I've never seen this one. It looks fun though. The first pop. It looks like there's a gun on the playfield that you point at something in the window of the house or something. I don't know what. You're trying to shoot somebody or something. Bizarre. Looks fun though, doesn't it? Kicking for goal. Haven't got that one. I've got the other football one though. But yeah, you get the gist. One of these days I'll get them all out and you can all look at them. I did think, when we did the, was it the first up north meet? I took my double all wins. I've got several double ones. Like this one. That's mine. Well, it's not really a double one, is it? It's just an extra big one. Double one I'm looking for. Where are they? Exactly, you don't see them. There's not many of those around. They're quite good fun machines. All machines, double all wins. Shooting the moon twins 2 in 1. I haven't got pictures of them up. This one I've got has come from John Moore's collection. When we sold his collection, I bought this one. I tried to buy it off John for years and years and years, and he'd never sell it to me. Not a very big picture, is it? You fire the ball around goes around the bottom all win first, and if you're getting a certain cup that it comes on the bottom track, you fire it all the way up to the top all win track. Then if you get it in the win hole, you get your penny back. All that effort for getting your penny back. It's good, isn't it? Got a similar thing with like side by side, the same idea. You fire it around one. If you get it in, then you can go on the next track to get your penny back. And then dual race, this is a good one, a quested one. This is one my one. I think this was my one. Only 2 of these known. You put your penny in the right hand all win. You actually fire the penny around the track. If you get that in one of the 3 win cups, it releases the ball then in the left hand all win, which is like a normal all win with the ball. You fire that round. If you get it in the cup, you get your penny back. Again, it's an awful lot of effort to win a penny, isn't it? It's good fun. The dual racer, quested that one is. So yeah, I've got the double ones out for I've got another one that's one on top of the other as well. I can't think what that one's called. But up north. I might if you can twist Mr. Williamson's arm to do an open day in the next spring in Yarmouth, I might dig out all my tall BMCos and take them there or something. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Anyway, there you go. Remember playing those? We took them to Woodbank, very unusual. Yeah. We need to do another one of these, gather everybody together and bring something meetups. It was quite good fun. First one we did. Bring a few different things that people don't say very often. And so another picture from Brian. Excellent stuff. Yeah, I'll download these. Martin, yes, if it's on, yeah, send again just in case I haven't got, and I'll sort out bank details. I've probably got them on file still, but send them again anyway. Then I've got them definitely for sure then. Ollie, what changes are you making to the website? Oh, loads. there's all sorts of things I want to do and add and change to the point where I'm starting from scratch. Basically, it'll mostly look the same, but essentially I've got to recode it from scratch. This is version 3 we're currently on, so it'll be version 4. There's things I want to add, which I need to restructure the whole of the database differently to do, essentially. But I want to add things like, if you look at the machine, ability for people to, so essentially on each machine page. So to start off, I'm going to do, so on the Colcon website at the moment, we've got, as well as machines, which is obviously the main focus, all the other stuff. That stuff will move over onto a different site or multiple sites possibly, so more focused on each separate thing. So the Colcon one will become just slot machines basically. The circus stuff will move on to another site, fairground will move on to another one, and so on, because they need the information is structured in different ways. I try to make some kind of formula that would work for everything, but it just doesn't. Same with the advertising stuff. So where with machines, you've got different ways to find out the types of machines, or by manufacturer. That's sort of the 2 ways you can find any machine, pretty much. With something like circus, you try and do it the same for things like circus, I don't know, circus posters, say for example. Bung all the Billy Smarts posters together. But also a lot of people who collect circus posters, for example, they like to collect stuff from their hometown, for instance. So they're only interested in stuff that was in Cambridge, let's say, circuses visited Cambridge. Or certain countries, not necessarily just British circuses, they might want German circuses or whatever. So the data needs structure in different ways, so you can search for it in different ways. Or if you do something like advertising, people collect enamel signs. We've got lots of different enamel signs. So at the moment I'm kind of restricted by the sort of the name of them. It really, again, people who collect signs, a lot of people only collect signs that are about beer or tobacco or petrol or whatever it might be. So you need to be able to group things in different ways. So again, it needs structuring slightly differently. So that's why the site will be split up into several ones. So coming back to the coin-op one, because there's pretty only coin-op people here. As I say, that way of finding stuff works out fine. Now we've got, for example, the only one there's really anything on at the moment is the Brian's page, isn't it? Let's go to Brian's. So on the Brian's page, you've got all the different machines they made down there. You can click through on. You've got factoids. I want to expand on that a lot more. Get people to submit little bits of information, which gradually builds that tree. We sort of started this before I went away on that big TV job last year, whatever it was, or year before. I lose track of time. And trying to get people to send information in, and it kind of fizzled out. So I need to get back onto that. So this idea about rather than trying to find people or me do it, I've got the time to write a whole history of a manufacturer. Just different people, just putting little snippets of information you know. It might be something you know because you know it, or maybe you've got an old bit of trade literature, or you see an article in an old magazine, or something online, or something written on a machine, a patent date, or I don't know, it could be whatever, anything. Just always little bits of information sourced from lots of people, all come together, and then it kind of automatically builds out the history over time. But then extend this idea into individual machines. So pick a machine, P11s. So some on the pages need reformatting, but I'll put a little holding bit in there. But again, so anything that just relates specifically to Brian's Allwyn would then go on here. That might be like, we know how many they made from the records. I don't There might be a reason why some backflashes go one way and some go the other. Maybe it's a reason for different cases. I don't know. Whatever it is, any information that's specific to that machine can go on there. Also, I want to put like people have been on about me ever since I started the website, doing some kind of forum type thing, so you can chat about things. But rather than it just all being lost like it is on other forums, anything to do with chatting about Brian's 11s would appear on the Brian's 11s page. So if you wanted to ask a question, if you're restoring one, you might need to ask, has anybody got a bit, or can they help with the measurement of something, because you need to make that piece but you don't know how long it is or something like that. You could just ask a question on the Brian's page and then someone would answer it, hopefully, on the Brian's page, on this page. And that's there forever then for people to refer back to in good time. But it's easy to find instead of just getting lost back in history and you can never find it again. So they come on each, questions about 11s go on the 11s page, questions about Jennings Governors would be on the Jennings Governors page, and so on. And somewhere else on the site would just have a kind of forum page which will show you where all the latest posts are. So you don't have to look through 10,000 pages to find out what anybody's been chatting about. So you could just see, it'd say, oh yeah, somebody's asking about Brian's 11s. I've got one of those. I'll go and have a look. See if I can help out. So that's one of the things. We want to do, why have I not signed in properly? I think my membership on my test account has run out, so I can't see all the prices on here. But you know what it looks like if you're signed into the account. It has all the auction prices. Chart them out over time. Again, it seems at the moment Brian's prices have tailed off a bit, it seems, from where they have been. But having a visual representation on some kind of graph is interesting over time, see how it compares with other ones. Add in all the history of all the old auctions. So the price history I've got, which is what, 2.6, 2.7 million pounds. That's just from the auctions since they were at the Elephant House. So the auctions for all the years before that are not on here yet because they're all in paper form. I never had them in electronic form, but I have still got all the auction sheets. It's a major project sitting there typing it all in, but it's something, again, because it takes the price history back another 20 years or something like that, a long time. So that would be interesting to see how things have done over all that time. So that's another thing to look at. And then possibly I've got auction catalogues going back since of other auctions since collecting machines first began, if not earlier, all the very early Sotheby sales and things like that, Phillips sales. So it'd be interesting to look through those. There was never any huge sales, but there were some nice bits sold. Working models and things went through that day, and some nice jukeboxes and stuff, and nice big pieces. So it'd be good to get those details down as well. So yeah, all this stuff, all this information, add it all together. So there's that to do as well. And then I'm looking at doing, as we all know, eBay is dead. Totally. Waste of space. Kind of an online trading thing, I've dabbled with it in the past, but to put stuff on like spares principally, probably, to start with. So using the big database of spares we've got already. So if you're doing up your all-win and you need a ball hammer, there you go. Some button somewhere to say, yeah, I need a ball hammer, I'm prepared to pay 10 quid or whatever. And then other people will see on here that somebody wants one for a tenner and you'd be able to sell them one, but do it via the website rather than putting stuff in auction and waiting 2 months and so on and so on and so on. So work from both ways, wanted and sales, which would be a good thing, I think. But you deal directly with the person bidding and offering. So if you've got stuff to sell, you can say, "Oh yeah, I've got a whatever. I've got a ball gallery. There we are." You'd be able to advertise that for a £5 or whatever. And somebody else can say, "Oh yeah, I need one of them," and buy it from you, and you just sort it out between yourselves. Without all the information being reported to the government as well, like eBay does now. Because I don't think it's any of their business, personally. So that's another thing. But yeah, perhaps try that with spares first of all. It could do other things later on. So yeah, there's several ideas to do with that one, and then with different things, like with the circus one, for instance, that could list circuses, where all the circuses are, and maybe take ads for performers and acts and things that do that are available for shows and weddings and all sorts of things. We used to book them in for all sorts of stuff. When I had the pier, I used to hire circus performers now and again just to entertain people at the weekend. It's quite good. Keep the kids happy. So, different areas of collectors, different things. Lots of plans. There you go. So that's just some of it. A lot to do. But I'll say what I'll perhaps do, I won't take the existing site down. I will work on the new one a bit at a time. Then perhaps once the first bit's up, I'll let you all see it, and you give me a bit of feedback and say, this isn't working, that's no good, that's a load of rubbish, that bit we quite like, this bit could be better if we did this, and so on and so on. So build not only what I think is a good idea, but what works for you a lot as well. The trouble with building websites is I know how it works because I've built it. I know how to use it. But to somebody else, it might not be very instinctive at all. It might be really difficult, although I think it's obvious. So that's why the feedback is always really useful. Yeah. And then just carry on shoving more and more data into it, really. So it can be the best it can possibly be, with as much information as you can possibly have. I sent some info before about the James Continental Nevada Club on the current version. Not sure if it gets picked up, but new updates are talking about sound good. Yeah, some of the messaging system on there is a bit iffy. That's another thing to improve, because messages get stuck or don't get through. It sort of worked, then I broke it, and then I fixed it, and then I broke it again when I updated something else. So again, that's another thing that needs looking at. But with the that sort of bits of information can go in the factoidy section, when you can submit via that and submit photos via it, and all the kind of the forumy chatty bit. So yeah, and that was the other thing really, is trying to get all the photos in. Because there's plenty of things. We pick a manufacturer that's got some, I don't know, let's pick one. Orange, for instance, there we are. Lots of machines, haven't got pictures for most of them. There's no easy way for people to submit photographs at the moment. You think, oh, I've got one of those, I could send a picture in. So really what it is, there's some button here that you can just upload a picture and it appear on the website. Obviously I'll need to check it first, just in case anybody uploads anything slightly dodgy, but you know what I mean. At the moment there's not really a way to do that. Then hopefully we can fill a lot of these gaps in. Working on the theory that any picture is better than no picture at all. So yeah, I'm gonna perhaps go back to the weekly raffle thing for a prize. What we started to do before, if you remember, before I got tied up with that big TV thing, was I don't even know if it's still on here now. Let's just click on something. Let's let's go to over to here. Don't think it shows us. Oh, it sort of shows here. Oh, it's because I'm not. My account has run out. I need to upload my account. But the gist of it was, if you're sent in a little factoid about something, you got a raffle ticket. Essentially, you got a number, and then once a week or whatever it was, the idea was we'd have a little draw and win a bottle of plonk or a box of chocolates or something, some little prize, just so you're getting something out of it. So we're going to try and kick that off again. Yeah. Aidan Stephen, evening all, Easter greetings from Northern Ireland. Best of luck for all your egg races tomorrow. I'm on a day off tomorrow. I did buy myself some Cadbury's cream eggs today, though. They seem to have disappeared. Didn't last very long. Sounds good. Happy with the feedback. Working IT, so hopefully good feedback. Ah, well, there you go, you see. So I should get you to build the site then, instead of me doing it. But yeah, you'll get exactly what I mean. Many years ago, for a bit, I shared a house with a chap. We bought a house to develop, 3 of us, and the other 2, they were IT bods. One of them did technical stuff with servers and things, and the other one did websites most of the time. And yeah, I'd try and break him. He'd build a website and then say to me, "Yeah, try and break that." Didn't tell me what it was supposed to do. But it was a good way of testing. Give it to somebody who doesn't know what it's supposed to do, and see if you can break it by, clicking things in the wrong order or whatever. But yeah, that was always a good idea. Or we'd say, well, look, book an appointment or something on this website, but not tell me how I'm supposed to do it. Just, this is a website you can book appointments on, or something, whatever it happened to be, the website is building. And I'd try and do it and tell him how easy it was, or what a pain in the what's it was, because I couldn't find how to select the time or something, or on, it was letting me book an appointment at 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday when they were only open 10 till 5, or whatever that happened to my odd things I'd find. Bit of debugging. Yeah. Anyway, there we are. It's enough of all that. Cadbury's chocolate tastes different. It does, doesn't it? It's not as good as it used to be. Do you know what I had today? I also had a bit of a chocolate mad today while I was at the shop, according to the cup. Some Club chocolate biscuits. I've not had for years. They used to be a real big, thick, chunky, didn't it? It was a thing, wasn't it, that had thick chocolate. That was a whole advertising, if you remember, on the Club biscuits. The thick. I can't remember what the slogan was, what the little phrase was. Something about thick chocolate there, wasn't it? And their whole biscuit now is about a quarter of an inch thick. So about 3/4 of an inch it used to be. Great big, thick, chunky thing. And there was hardly any chocolate on it. I was very disappointed. So don't buy Club biscuits. And don't buy Cadbury's, now it's crap. And they refuse to put Easter on their Easter eggs. A bit like the twat excuse of a king we've got, who refuses to give an Easter message out. No, I'm not religious, but that's not the point. It's still Easter. So yes. There was a lot I noticed yesterday when I was in the supermarket. Yeah, it was yesterday afternoon. They had a ton of Easter eggs left over to sell. I mean, a ton, all Cadbury's ones. I think a lot of people were boycotting it, which I thought was quite funny. So there's probably lots of cheap chocolate available tomorrow, I expect, in the supermarkets whenever they're open again. But yeah, never seen so much left on a Saturday afternoon. I think they've overbought, or a lot of people have been boycotting and just refusing to buy it because it's crap. Don't blame them. And overpriced for what you get. So I just bought one each for my nephew and niece, just for the sake of it, just so they've got. They don't really eat a lot of chocolate anyway, but you know, kind of got to, haven't you? And I bought them some other stuff as well, which wasn't quite such a waste of money. And then Tuesday we're going to the seaside. Yay, that'd be good. See what your lights Southend has to offer. If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club. Yes, that's it. Well done, Brian. Well remembered. Yeah, we get bugger all chocolate on them now. Bite through it is so thin, the sides of the biscuit were kind of sticking. You could see through, literally see through the chocolate. I should have brought one up to show you. Disgusting I was. I was most disappointed. But, oh, I just fancied one of those. Not done for years. An orange club. You want to see the size of Snickers now? They're more like a fun size one. Yeah, everything's just so twiddly tiddly small, isn't it? With you on the Easter, King should have made a speech rather than what he did do. Say no more. Yeah, exactly. The bloody disgrace. He should be fired. Absolutely bloody useless. The chocolate on timeout biscuits is so thin it just falls off. Yeah. So we need some decent chocolate biscuits. Stephen says, I agree about the Cadbury's ignorance. There have definitely been a huge backlash against the palm oil invasion of chocolate replacement. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I don't know what it is. So you need recommendations for some decent chocolate. I always preferred Galaxy chocolate anyway to Cadbury's. That doesn't seem to be all right still. Again, I'm not sure it's as good as it was, but I think it's not so bad. What was I just going to look up? Oh yeah, chocolate Allwins. I was going to put up as we were talking about chocolate. Machines, Allwins. Where's all the winner chocks? They'll be on the last page, weren't they? Winner Navy Scotch, winner Nestle's milk chocolate, as it always used to be before it became Nestle. A penguin. I bet penguins have gone the same way, aren't they? I think they're really thin chocolate as well, aren't they now? Not one of those for a long time. Winner Spangles, that's what we want. Bring back Spangles. So every time they have one of those things on the telly, isn't it? Some retro sweet things or retro something, don't you? They get those sort of celebrities to talk about stuff in the past, don't they? And what they remember and people what they want to bring back and all that. Whenever they got onto sweets, it was Spangles, isn't it? Everybody wants Spangles to come back. I don't know why they don't. Weird, isn't it? Must be some reason. Maybe it's some strange licensing deal or something on the name or something. I don't know. Curious. Where are the other winners from this page? Winner Cadbury's Peppermint. Winner Choc. Winner Crunch. Fries Crunch. Winner Kit Kat. Loads of different Kit Kats now. Have you seen all the different Kit Kats you can get? There's some great ones in Dubai. Some I've never seen anywhere else. Some really nice ones, actually. Lots of weird and wonderful flavours. Oops. Yeah. Mm. Anyway, how did we get onto chocolate? I'm not sure. Brian says, made my own toffee the same as my great grandmother used to make on the fairground. The toffee apples, same secret recipe. Ooh, that sounds good. Grandmother's recipes are always the best, aren't they? You can buy lots of retro sweets at the Woodbank shop now. Blackjacks, fruit salads, etc. Oh, excellent. Yeah, I had a big on the pier. I had a big sweet shop. I had the pier, all jars of sweets. Did really well. Because the only place you could get stuff. I had a couple of sweetie reps. We just find all sorts of things they didn't even know were made anymore from little companies sometimes. And people would come in and ask for something. Oh, I don't suppose you can get whatever. So I'd ask the reps, and then yeah, they'd come back. Proper toffee apples, yeah. I had a great, she was my great, was she great or great aunt many years ago. Died when I was quite, gosh, 40 years ago. You realise you're getting old again, isn't it? Really into making cakes. She used to make a really lovely, well, a really nice lemon drizzle cake, which is my favourite cake ever, lemon drizzle. But she also made these little coconut cake things, which were like, what they were like some fluffy sort of stuff, almost like meringue on top with coconut in it somehow or other. Cherries on top. Absolutely gorgeous. One of those recipes you never ever wrote down. No one else ever made it. No one knew how to make it, and the recipe died with her, sadly. There you go, it's one of those. So make sure these recipes get written down somewhere. Even if you keep them secret, just, yeah, write them down somewhere. Steve's got a question. As I live across the water, is there a list of vintage penny arcades or classic amusement arcades still open in the UK? If there isn't, what about putting a list together? Yes, that's another thing to do on the new website. One of the many things. Well, and the other thing is suppliers of things as well. So I'm just writing that down. Something else I've forgotten I need to do tomorrow. Excuse me, I just suddenly sprung into my mind. Yes. Ever since I first built the site, there's been a space right at the bottom on every machine page where it says grade outlook public displays. This section is under development, so I've never ever got around to doing it. But my idea with that is that obviously to list all the vintage arcades, but also so that each of those arcades could somehow easily, and this is the really tricky thing of how to do it easily, but basically, you know, Robert at Woodbank could log into the website and just click all the machines that are in the arcade. And if you're scrolling through the website and thinking, oh, I wonder where I can, where can I see a What's My Line machine? I need to go and look at one to fix mine. It would say at the bottom, oh, public displays. There's one of these at Woodbank, or there's one of these at Great Yarmouth, Merivale, or something. So you could go and find machines out on site. That's the idea of that. I just never got around to programming that bit. But yes, a list of arcades and then links to them, because there's always a problem of knowing when they're open and whatnot. So you need to link through to their sites or get them to keep the opening dates up to date. But yes, it's on the list of jobs to do. The other thing is useful suppliers. So I'm always saying, people, if you've got a little man somewhere in a little workshop that does something, keep him busy. Let us all know so we can help keep them busy. Because once these people go, or give up or retire. We're all stuffed. So recently, only in the last week or so, we found somebody who will rewind small electric motors. They've just done a jukebox motor for somebody, and that's getting really hard to find. You can get big motors, big industrial motors done, but no one wants to do the little diddly ones anymore. They're too fiddly. But we now found some people to do it. And people like, foundries. There's not many foundries left that will deal with little people who just want one little bit of casting made. Chrome plating is always a pain, always closing down. We've got people like Benson's just up the road here in Newmarket who make electro coils for solenoid coils and things like that for electromechanical machines. That made them originally for a lot of the slot machines, into Crompton's machines, Streets machines have usually got Benson's coils in. Benson's just up the road, still make them. They'll make you one. If you want one, they'll make you one. Really, really helpful. But again, put a kind of a directory page together of all these useful people. People like Backflash Jim, who are always sending everybody to Jim to get their backflashes sorted out. You've got people like Carl that do electronic stuff. Yeah. So that's another much needed resource, which I think would be really useful for people. And yeah, just to keep these people busy, keep them in work so they keep going. So that's another thing. So have a think of all the people you know and write a little list. We can get them added up. Paul said, surprised no one got a license to make a Wonka bar with a golden ticket. Oh, for slot machines, yeah. I don't know who owns the IP for that. Probably one of the big companies. It'd be Disney or Warner or somebody probably own it now. I don't know who brought out the more recent ones. I don't know who brought out the more recent films. There's a great retro sweet shop near the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. You love lemon drizzle cake as well. Me too. Did anyone ever get to the old penny arcades in Great Yarmouth Waxworks? Yes. Gutted I never got to see the Waxworks or the arcade. Yeah, it was it was quite good. It was in Regent Street. So a big old lovely house. Very old Georgian house, I think it is. But the Waxworks was in all bit higgity-piggity all in the houses and dodgy little staircases. However, it got a fire certificate on it. Well, I don't think it did have a fire certificate. I think they must have been very friendly with the fire officer or something. I don't know. Anyway, then the arcade was down in the cellar. A really good sort of chamber of horrors as well, Waxworks. Yeah, it had some quite funky stuff in there. So yeah, it all got sold off. Some of it, Peter Williamson bought the racers, the two-player racers. They're all there in his two arcades. So some of them stayed in Yarmouth, some are in the Roxham arcade. So when you go and see those, at least you can see some of the machines. Waxworks all went abroad, I believe, in the end. But it was good. I don't think I've got any pictures. Peter might have some. Paul says that was the best part of the Waxworks, the Chamber of Horrors. Yeah, the Chamber of Horrors was good. The Penny Arcade was good. The rest of the Waxworks was bad. And that's what killed it off in the end. They got a really bad review in one of the national papers. It really upset the owners who used to own it were lovely people, and it would kind of really hit them hard, I think. And it got known as being the worst waxworks in the UK or something. Some of them were. They didn't look much like the people they were supposed to look at. You had to read the signs and look at the waxwork, and then read the sign again, and then look at it again, and then think, yeah, no, it still doesn't look like whoever it's supposed to look like. But it was quite funny for that, in a way. But yeah, but the Chamber of Horrors was actually good. It's nice. It was good models. Very handy to know someone for motors, etc. Yeah. Need to put a prettier page up, don't I? I was sit here looking at this boring page. Just put something pretty up. I'll have a look at the wanted list. That was pretty, isn't it? Let's leave that for a little minute. Yeah, motors, little motors especially. And again, a lot of them, you know, the few big companies that are left just don't want to deal with little people with their one little odd motor. They, you know, if you've got a whole truckload of big industrial motors, they'll talk to you. If you've got one little motor off of a pusher or something, we can't bother with that. Used to be a great guy in Cambridge, but he very inconsiderately went and died. I think he was about 90, but even so, still very unreasonable of him because he was very good. He used to take my klaxon motors off old cranes and things, and he'd have great fun doing those. Ollie says got a good little foundry and a plater and polishes nearby in Dorset. Excellent. That'd be one for the list then. All the West Country folk to go and use. People, you know, in the past have had this weird thing of that they'd find some good little company somewhere and they'd always try to keep it secret, not tell anybody. And I'll say, well, no, that's really stupid because if they don't get any work, then that's when they go bust or they just give up. So no, you need to tell them as much as possible. Tell as many people as possible. Keep them busy. Or just go and get 500 bits made yourself and sell them, whatever, but that still keeps them busy. But it's probably a better idea just to tell other people. Kylie looked more like Bruce Willis. Yes, there was some very amusing models in there, wasn't there? They had a few really nice old ones. I don't know where they had. Anybody who's been there will remember, sort of on the stairs in some of the hallways. They had some in black. They weren't very big. I can't quite see my hands, but they were travelling ones, like Victorian travelling waxworks in kind of little travelling like glass boxes with doors that folded around them. And I think they were the original. I don't know. It might have been the grandparents or something that used to travel on the fairs with them. I don't know where they went, but they were lovely. I'd love to have owned those. They were things like you know, things I don't know, like shrunken head type things and weird kind of you know, kind of more ethnic things that in the Victorian times people would have never seen pictures of, never mind waxworks of. Really interesting. Love to know where they are. Love to have bought them. Stephen said, I heard the waxworks were so bad, but that's the added appeal. Yeah, well, that kind of was to some of us. Anyone know what they did with the waxworks? Glad to hear the machines were bought and saved. So I think most of the waxworks ended up abroad, if I remember rightly. I don't think Peter Williams is on tonight, is he? Because he knows all the history about it. He knew them very well. Hopefully Peter's had a very good weekend. He's busy counting all his money. But yeah, I think they went abroad in the end. Machines were bought and saved. Yeah, the machines, so Peter bought some. I don't know where the other ones ended up. Round and about. I think a batch of those might have gone abroad as well. Never knew there was an arcade in the basement. Oh, they had quite a few machines in there actually. It was quite a size really. It was a bit basic, the arcade. It was just sort of a basement with some machines in, really. I suppose would be the way to describe it. And I don't think it's one of those. I don't think it was supposed to be a vintage arcade. It hadn't been updated for so long. It kind of turned into a vintage arcade, which was quite good fun. It's just been sort of you know, lost to time almost, but they kept them going. So we got to drop. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Good for me. I'll try and keep going. As long as people want to chat, I'll be here. I might do one tomorrow night though. Keep an eye out on the website. I might dig out a World's Fair for tomorrow. This is bank holiday. As a special treat to you all. See what we can find out. But I'll see if Peter's not busy tomorrow night as well. We'll get him to come on and talk about the waxworks. A list of open arcades would be good. Yeah. Every now and again, somebody will say to me, "Oh, did you know about such and such?" Or there'll be a few odd machines somewhere for a bit that no one's ever heard of or knew of. So yes, that's a definite on my list. And then yeah, any other bright ideas anybody's got for features, then let me know. You know, if you think, oh, it'd be good to be able to do this, that, or the other. That'd be something that can be added in. All stuff people are wanting. See if we can find some of these for the next auction. There's one or two odd bits coming. People dropped off today when they were collecting for the next auction, which will be June sometime. A couple of all-wins, a couple of I'm trying to think what they were. Ollie Wales treble chance, I think, the football one, and winner something or other. I'll come to you in a minute. Winner gum? No, not winner gum. No. Hang on a moment. Was a what's the one with the football? Light greeny one. It's a triple chance thing, isn't it? Yes, a treble chance. One of those. And a gosh, this is good, isn't it? I can't remember. I was doing lots of people all at once. That doesn't turn up too often. Not potluck. I can't remember which one it is. Oh, take your pick. I think it was. Yeah. And then a high top. A Jennings Galaxy, nice shiny one. A Mills Extraordinary. And a Mills Horsehead bonus. Something else as well. Or gumball machine. Yeah, so a few machines. I'll take some snaps sometime in the next week or two whenever I call in the warehouse next. Show you those. But yeah, really I need to see what we're doing with this collection auction before I start taking too many machines in, or I'm not going to have space to put them. So working on that one. Try and catch up with the chap in a week or so, see where he's at. Yeah. Right. Even better machines within would be very useful. Yeah. Well, as I say, yeah. I always intended to do that. It's going to be how we can do it too, because it's, you know, if you think, again, it might be a thing that we have to rely on people to update. So if you go to a penny arcade somewhere, you can be bothered. Write a bit of a list of what's in there and just check with what we have on record, because they change all the time, don't they? People, you know, machine breaks down, so they take one out and put another one in. So it's going to be quite a thing to keep on top of. It'd be a fantastic resource. So if you could just go down, any page like this and down to the bottom and say, oh yeah, there's one in this arcade and there's one in that arcade. Wonderful. Especially if you're trying to restore something, you need to go and have a look at it and figure out what it works or get a good picture of it or something. How we can make that work so it's easy for the arcade owners to keep it updated. It doesn't become a ball ache. And or for people who visit arcades to just say, oh yeah, I went to Woodbank today and I noticed they've got a so-and-so in there now. So you could just somehow or other click something and update the list of what's in the arcade. So it needs some thinking about how it can be done to make it easy. But it would be a good resource, I think. Anyone visiting Clacton, welcome to call in and have a play on the machine, says Paul. And now he's retired. We've got nothing better to do. Excellent. Just a service and a polish. Lovely. A really good show tonight, Steve. Oh, thank you, Brian. I shall try now. Over the next few weeks, try and make them slightly better. So I've got some nice 60s, 70s World's Fairs and coin slots to have a look at. They're always good to see what was happening back on the fairgrounds and in the arcades all those years ago. Some quite interesting little stories in some of them. There was one thing I read, funny enough, just caught my eye. And all I can say is it sounded like it could have been Paul Mitchell. It wasn't when I read it because the name was in the article. But from what I know of Paul when he was a bit younger, the little scamp, it did sound like it could have been him. Quite a funny little article. I shall find it again and read that one out to you. But yeah, what I'll try and do, I think I'll do one tomorrow. I'll try and scan a few of the adverts and things so I can put pictures on the screen rather than just reading it because that's a bit boring. What I need is an extra camera, really. I could kind of set a camera up above the desk here so I could point at a newspaper so you could see what I'm pointing at. That's a bit technical, isn't it? Multi-camera TV show, do a multi-camera YouTube show. Don't think we're ready for that yet, are we? One day, maybe. But so, yeah, and I've got some interesting old stuff as well I need to dig out again. I'm not sure where it is at the moment, but old catalogues and things, which are always good to look at. And if anybody else out there has got anything like that, any old World's Fairs and coin slots, they're hard to find. They were just newspapers, they fall to bits. But they're really interesting. There's so much information in them. Just from reading through the adverts, it gives you you can find out when things were first made. It says, new on an advert, and you suddenly find out, oh, okay, we know when that was made now. You can put a date on things. Or there's pictures of machines, I don't know who made them, and all of a sudden we find out who made them, etc. So, yeah, really need more of those. Say the 2 or 3 I just had a quick look through that I found. There's things in there I noticed. Crompton's machine I've not heard of. I think there was a Streets machine I've not heard of. Some Mayfield's machines I've not heard of. Some of them are just little listings and adverts. Some of them have got pictures of, which is nice. But then if you read some of the more in-depth articles, sometimes it tells you bits about the companies. Like the trade show reviews are great. It'll be a review of like the ATEI, as it's now called, whatever it was called at the time, the amusement show in London. But it will say, oh, whatever, Brian's had a new for this year on their stand was the whatever machine. Okay, for the Brian's machines, we know when they were made, but you get the gist. Again, you can date things from those, reading those articles. If anyone's got any stashed away, any old copies, especially sort of pre-70s really, kind of pre-decimal. That yeah, could borrow, copy, photograph, scan or something. Buy off your evening if you want to get rid of them. Fantastic. Let me know. Ollie says, have you got an Electrodot or similar Jameson's? Paul, mine has the wrong push button. I'd like to replicate an original. Do you know, I had one of those. I think I sold it. Jameson push button. For years, I just come on with a box of spares. I'm sure I sold it in one of the auctions. Probably in the spares. What would that be under? Don't know, I might not have categorised it at the time. War machine spares. Flashing light spares. No. Sure I sold it. Don't know what it'd be under. It's probably just randomly under other at the moment because I haven't got around to categorising it out. Electromechanical spares, probably under there somewhere. Yeah, there you go. Look, I can see a picture of it. One of them. That's what it looks like. If you go to that page, if you sign into the site, you'll be able to blow the picture up bigger. Does anyone have any old pre-video Sega or similar mechanical machines in their arcades from the early to 70s? Games like Missile, Jet Rocket, and even likes of Whirlybird. They're really rare, those. Yeah, the Whirlybird we sold a few auctions back. That is nearly restored, apparently. I wonder if you can get me a bit of video of it. That was the Sega one, I think. It was not the Williams, because we had a Sega and a Williams. Sega. Where are we? What's it called? Not Whirlybird. I think Williams is Whirlybird, isn't it? Can't find the damn thing now. Why can't I find it? What's it called? Helicopter. There you go. So that one, I think, is now just about restored and working. We sold back in, I can't see when we sold it because my test account has run out. So I need to credit myself some more credit on my account. But yeah, Debbie's going to come back in the auction lot. The chap's going to keep it. We sold that one. We sold a Williams one. The Williams one, if I remember rightly, went to I went to a theatre production or something bizarre. Went to London. Remember rightly? No, I can't see that now. Was it on the other Williams? Williams Electronics is Williams Manufacturing Co. There's a few different versions of Williams. Over the years, they changed their name slightly. Williams. No, let's do it the other way then. Skill games. What sort of skill game is it? Is an other skill game? Sega helicopter. Williams. Oh, it's by Midway, not Williams. That's why I couldn't find it. Looking on the wrong manufacturer. Duh. Yeah, so this one, I think that went off to went to a theatre company, bizarrely. But yeah, there's really that type of machine is very, very rare. There's a few in the States, but then of course they've got more space for it, haven't they? But over here, not much at all. Try to think what there is out on site. You've got that what's the funny little tank thing that Peter's got in Yarmouth? That's a good little machine. What's that under? Shooting game, probably. There's a few different shooters around. Different arcades. Try to think what that funny little thing with the tanks in is called. That's a good little machine. No, I can't find it. Maybe I put it under an other skill game. No. Can you remember who made it? Anybody? Was it a Rollite? Yes, Rollite Invasion. That's what I'm thinking of. This is a fun little thing. It's like a tank shooter thing. Oh, I need to get a better picture of it now. Peter's restored it. But that's a sort of a electromechanically pre-video game thing. Quite small. So it's in the Great Yarmouth Arcade. Interesting thing. Invasion, yes, well done, Invasion. Yeah, there's another one somewhere, isn't there? Somebody. There is two. Don't know where the other one is. I think someone came up to Peter and said, "Well, I've got one of those." So there's hope out there yet. And who knows what else there is to be found. Half the fun. Again, I was noticing in some of the just having a quick flick through these coin slots and World's Fairs of machines that, I mean, in reality, they're not that old, in as much as we regularly sell much older machines than late 60s, early 70s machines. But these machines have, been and gone, and I've never seen them. And I'm sure they probably don't exist because some of them are quite big machines. I've never seen them. Don't know of any existing. So it's kind of the only record we've got. Often there's no kind of much publicity material or anything. So I guess we'll never see them, but at least from some of those articles, we know they existed. Like some of the big Cromptons things, like the Cromptons, like these big. They've got on here, they're like a gold cup. These big multiplayer things. These are just huge machines. That's probably about 8 foot square or something. Gold Award, Gold Cup. There's another one similar as well. There's an article with both of them in one of the magazines. These pushers, as far as we know, don't exist anymore. There was another different pusher I'd not heard of. What's that called? I haven't got a picture of it. It wasn't one of those. No, I think it was one I've not got on here. Like Lucky Strike, Penny Cascade, Penny Tumble. I think it was another different one. Which is good. So there's a few more Mayfield machines, which are some of those. I think they sound like they're probably pushers, but there's no pictures of them. Golden Stairs, I think that was one of them. But another one similar to the what was that one called? I don't know what it's called. I've got a name for it here. I don't think so. It looked a bit like the Crompton's thing that Paul's got. Cover the Spot. Kind of similarish to that, like a giant Challenger type machine where you fill the columns up with coins, and when they're full, they pay out. But another different one, a big floor standing one again, a Mayfield one, which is a picture of the advert. So that's quite nice. Something else to be found. Might be one in the shed somewhere, who knows? I think sadly with this big stuff now, if it was surviving, then we would have found it. Little things get stashed away in, you know, people's houses, people's sheds, whatever they got took home back in the day out of the arcades for the kids to play with, for the workers' kids to play with, and all that sort of thing. Big stuff just didn't survive because what the hell do you do with it? Where do you put it? How do you move it? You know. And remember, people often forget, but sort of back in the 60s, when a lot of this stuff came out of the arcades, and said smaller stuff would go home sometimes with the arcade, you know, with the keymen or whatever, the engineers. But big stuff, they also couldn't move it. If they were lucky enough to have a car, it would be a small car. Not that you could something you could get a pusher in, which needed a lorry. So, you know, it just didn't survive, did it? And so few photographs, because just hardly any photographs of interiors of arcades. Are so rare. Very lucky to remember playing all those big machines. Yep. Peter says, believe there may be 2 huge Le Mans multiplayer racing machines still in existence. Excellent. Well, they need to be found, don't they, and secured. The last one I saw, have we got one on here? Compton's Whitakers. Whitakers, aren't they, those big things? Whitakers. Yeah, Grand Prix Le Mans, these type things. Not the best of pictures, is it? But the great big multiplayer thing with the cars racing around, like a sort of a scale electricity track type thing, aren't they? Grand Prix, another version. Yeah, I remember leaving one in a travelling arcade, which I could have had for nothing if I could have moved it. The travelling arcade was getting cut up for scrap. It was just too big to get out. It was right in the middle, of course, over the main chassis, and the trailer was full of stuff. Nothing much was any good. I think I pulled out a couple of like Space Invaders when they were making money at the time. That was about it. The rest of it was like old AWPs, which are now worth a lot of money at the moment, weren't worth moving. And I think the plan was basically they were going to set fire to it and then pull the scrap out of it. So I think that one went up in flames. And then another one, Jerry Cottle had one, which when he had his yard in Addleston Moor was there. And I'm sure it went down to Wookey Hole when he moved to Wookey Hole. What happened to it from there? No idea. Whether it's still there in the store, whether it got thrown away and scrapped, don't know. That's the last one that I saw personally. And I think that was Grand Prix actually. Yeah, huge thing. Kentucky Derby, that's sort of a horse racing one. Monte Carlo Rally is, that's super interesting. So yeah, if there are any surviving, it'd be nice for them to be saved and go somewhere. Watch Tommy, you'll see a Grand Prix in the arcade scene. Yeah, there is a couple of odd films like that, isn't there? With just quick clips in. You've got a little bit of the arcade in Brighton in Brighton Rock. Things like that. There's other. What's the other film? Was it a Ray Winston one? There's a scene in an arcade. There's a few little bits like that. There's something else here. We could have a page somewhere on the website about saying, you know, go watch this film from here to there. Every now and again. There's a couple of the Carry On films. I think I've got tiny little bits of arcades in and a bit on Brighton Pier and things like that. There's things like Steptoe and Son. They had an all-win on the wall in Steptoe for quite a while. Right at the back on the staircase, I remember. There's another Carry On. I can't remember which Carry On it is. The one where is it the one with the Miracle Diet Juice or something, where Sid James is sort of a bit of a criminal. Bernard Bresslaw, they dress him up as a nurse to send him into the hospital. Whichever one that is. In their sort of little house, in Sid James's and Bernard Breslaw's little house, where they're sorting out their little criminal enterprise. There's an all-win on the wall in the room in their house. Monty Python Spam, yes, that's an all-win as well. Yep. So yeah, there's a few like that. So there's another thing we could have a little page and find all these little things and just keep adding to it. A good little reference, wasn't it? I'll try and get some screen grabs maybe. Or the little clips. Have to be copyright to right pain, of course, but probably get away with like a little 5-second clip or something. Holiday on the buses, Branco Roto Fruit. Oh yes, holiday on the buses. Steven said we had the Le Mans and Grand Prix in the old Barry's amusement park many years ago, along with the round 1970s 2p roulette. Place your bet. Oh yeah, the roulettes, the early roulettes. Yeah, that's the later one, isn't it? They did various versions. They did this one. I'd like to see one of those. I think this was the first version, like a big double-sided thing, but then with a horizontal roulette, like an ordinary roulette, in the middle we probably can't really see on there. But if you go to the page on the website and have a look at it, I'll put the link in there. Look, I quite like the look of that one. Huge thing. So they went to the kind of the ones we know a bit more recent. They went for a long time, that machine. There were so many different variants of it over the years. Really popular machine. I had one on the pier. It did really well. It's quite an old one. Not the oldest one, but relatively old. Wild West Rickville. That looks like a good one as well, doesn't it? It's a bit Brenco-y almost, isn't it? But it's a Whittaker's. Oops. Where are we? Whittaker's. Yeah. Good stuff. Got all the Mad Nixon's stuff. There's some great machines Nixon's made. Very few of which survive. Mini Teasers, a couple of those because I've sold them. One's Peter's got one. Mini Pusher in Yarmouth. The other one is in private collection. Flip it on with the football players. Is that one of the football players? Yes, which this is your one's now, I think, Paul, isn't it? I think this is Paul's now. The players on. But they made some strange things. World Flight, look at this, World Flight with some big clock thing, like big multiplayer game. All these multiplayer games all got smashed up because the law changed in whatever year it was. And all these massive machines went out of almost overnight. There's famous pictures being burnt up on, I think it's Yarmouth Beach, funnily enough, talking about Yarmouth. Because the government decided to introduce a tax per slot. Because some of these machines were like 8-player or 10, I think that's a 10-player machine, that double-sided, that one. And if you think on some of those machines like the roulette, they had an individual slot per bet, so you could bet on, you know, maybe one of 5 colours, for example, so that's 5 slots. If it had 8 or 10 playing positions, suddenly that was 40 or 50 slots, and you paid your tax on your machine per slot instead of per machine. So suddenly a machine with 40 slots or 50 slots was just completely, you know, there's no way you could tax it. And they just, overnight, they're all just smashed up. A lot of them were burnt in protest about the law. So all kind of, a lot of this really weird, wonderful looking stuff. A Zingo, look at that, great looking thing. Exciting Zingo. Don't know what it did. Some flashy light type thing. But they all disappeared overnight. Soccer caster. A multiplayer thing. Betting, obviously, like a football pool type betting thing somehow or other. None of them survive. It's a shame. Because of government pillocks again. Never learn, do they? Some prat thought, oh, that's a good idea. We'll tax per slot instead of per machine. But yeah, they were some pretty wild and wacky things. Yeah, that's what made people like Mayfield went bust. The manufacturers went bust because of it, because all their machines were multiplayer machines. And it killed them off. Electronic dice, that would be one to find, wouldn't it? Amazing machine that was. A machine that read dice in a tumbling dice in a cage. Huge big floor standing thing again. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So is that 16 player, I think? 4 per side. Unless it was just double sided, I'm not sure. I think it plays all the way around by the look of it. Imagine how many slots were on that if it was 5 slots per player. You get the gist. There's a tiny video clip somewhere, isn't there, that just in the background cycling. I have to try and find it. I've not got it on here. That would be one. Bit of a dream machine to somebody to find, I'm sure. Sinclair says, I think somewhere on the pub wall in Lock, Stock and Barrel. Oh, is there? Good job, I've not seen that for years. What a great film. Does anyone remember a shooting game from the 70s? It was an electromechanical shooting game where the hologram of a gunfighter would turn and you had to shoot him before he shoot you. Oh, no. Not sure if it was a ghost, but it was definitely a holographic image which turned around to face you. No, don't know that one. Sounds interesting. Was it Mad Dodgy McRae? Don't know that machine, but it sounds great. You can find out what it's called. Spoke to Paul a few weeks about his moon rocket machine. We had one in Barry's amusement park in Bangor. County Down. Amazed to see one again. Yeah, the only one that's left. As far as we know, the only one there is. Gary said Crompton's 3D Derby had 20 threepenny slots. Still don't know what it's called. 3D Derby. Half the horses were Derby winners and half of the horses were Grand National winners. All right. I guess it was on threepenny bits. Cromptons. We got a picture of that one. Derby. This one, do you mean? Derby Racer, the spinny roundy one, or there's one of those machines somewhere. I don't know where it went. It went to Holland. Which was the football-y one. Ace Race. Which version was it? Lucky Stars. There's one of these type of things. Big, round, spinny machine with loads of slots on. Years ago, Dave Hooper had one. And come from... Where did it come from? Can't remember where it came from. But anyway, we sold it in one of the auctions in the Elephant House before I kind of took over there many years ago. And it went to Holland. Dutch dealer bought it. And distinctly remember to get it in the back of the van, they literally turned it on its side and kind of rolled it into the back of the van. Massive round thing. Great mechanism. It wasn't the whole kind of centre disc spins round. It's about, I don't know, 6 foot round, this machine. And it's not on a motor, it's electromagnets pulsing against like opposing magnets. So the whole kind of centre lifts up slightly. The magnets start pulsing and spin it round. And then obviously I think the magnets must kind of lock, as it were, to slow it down, and then the whole playfield drops down again and connects switches to figure out the payouts. Great thing. It was kind of football themed. I think they made 2 or 3 different themes of it. Ace Racer is one, isn't it? Lucky Stars, I think that's the same thing, just a different like Film Stars version of it. So hopefully that one's still, it was working order when we sold it. I mean, it's going back a few years now, 30 years, I guess. He says it again. So that might be floating around Europe somewhere, hopefully, still. Who was texting me? Somebody texted me something, probably. Stephen, I can send me the photo. That's all right. I'll have to, yeah, I can't get them straight off my phone onto YouTube, but Film Stars machine. Oh yeah, that film. No, one of those Film Star machines. I've shown, I think, pictures of before. Got some classic film. Oh yes, let us know what film we got it from. There was one of those many years ago in Canvey Island amusement park, the casino, whatever it's called, amusement park, around the back. When we cleared that out, couldn't get it out. The building in there, I've shown some pictures. Someone got some photographs of it, which I'll try and find again. So the amusement park closed, which is sort of full of, it will gradually kind of close down. When it eventually closed, it got demolished for housing. But in the building that was originally the Dodgem track, if I remember rightly, I think it was Dodgem track, roller skating or something, over the years they're just filled with arcade machines. And when I say filled, it was a huge building, bigger than the Elephant House, if you ever went to the Elephant House, and it was solid with machines. You couldn't walk between them. It was from the back corner, the doors in were on the opposite diagonal corner, if that makes sense. Totally ram-packed with machines. And to see anything, you had to climb above the machine, just walk on the top of all the machines. And away in there was one of those great big Film Star machines, which was a Crompton's. It was before Crompton became Crompton's. It was Crompton and Bates, I think, made them. Or it might have been a Nixon's one. Both made them. Film Stars. I've got a listing there. Did Crompton build them as well? But there was one of those in there somewhere. The only bit I could never get it out was so much to move to get anything. It was too big. Nobody would want it at the time. Shame, but there you go. There's not one on there. Nixon's made a very similar looking thing. But I've got the film star photographs of it. There's only bit I just took them off the machine. But there's some other really interesting stuff in there as well. And I got somewhere, Dave Geeson took some photographs back in the day because he had some stuff out there as well, some smaller wall machines. And I've got the photographs on because I was showing them all on the live streams. I'll try and find them for Monday, for tomorrow. I'll make a note. Tune in tomorrow night. See if I can find those pictures. Canvey Island pics. Let me make myself a note because they're really good photographs. Again, that's another thing I was thinking, another new feature we could do on the new version of the site, or sort of old, arcades of old. Maybe on a map, something. Pictures you have got. Have a rummage. Might have got a picture of you as a kid sticking a penny in a slot somewhere. See what we can find. But that was the last of those big film star machines there was, I would imagine. Yeah. If only we could turn back the clocks. There was some good stuff in that store. 60s, big, massive 60s machines. They actually did have the space to keep them. They just shoved them all in that building. Sad. Hey ho. So similar to the 3D Derby, the centre was controlled by about a 4-inch wooden drum driven by a motor-driven short bicycle change and a back wheel sprocket. Yeah. Yeah, a couple of them, those things had like a sequencer in, didn't they, with a big wooden chunk of wood with like bits of rubber nailed to it or something. There's like a cam sequencer thing. Interesting machines. Yeah. None left. It's a shame. Octopush. That's good, isn't it? An octopush. Right, so what's the one with the is it yeah, carousel. Love to see one of these again. I remember seeing one of these as a kid, playing one of these. The carousel pusher with model kind of like the model carousel in the centre going round, as it were. Don't know one surviving, sadly. Yeah, love to see one of those. Garrett, that's it. Used to modify the black rubber strips to make it go faster. Yeah, to stop the local lads from predicting. Excellent. The film was called The Leather Boys, 1960s movie. Oh, okay. Sounds a bit kinky. The Leather Boys, 1960s film. Let me make a note. Film Stars Machine. Film Stars Machine. Excellent, that's a good one. Yeah, it'd be nice to figure out where that was filmed, wouldn't it? Could probably look into that and find out. Well, I'd like to find there was a series done in that would be, oh gosh, when was that? Let's look it up. IMDb. It's called Resort Murder. 1995. There we go. It was filmed in Brighton. Don't think it's ever been released on anything. It was a TV. We go out on BBC One, I think. Yeah, BBC production. And that had a vintage arcade in it because I did all the machines up for it. Filmed down in Brighton and thereabouts. But I don't think it's ever been put out on. I did find out they put the soundtrack out on CD, bizarrely. But I don't think they've ever released it like on DVD or anything. Which is a shame. Because yeah, there's a vintage amusement arcade in it. Oh, Steve just sent me another load of photographs from the Leather Boys movie. Oh, bowling things. Oh, Tony merchandise. Oh, it looks good. Wonder where that was filmed. Palmistry. Oh, we're gonna have to look into that one. Let's look it up. The Leather Boys. 1964. That's probably gonna be it, isn't it? Play the trailer. Ooh. Is there any clips one day in the trailer? Let's have a look. I can't fast forward it. It's annoying. Let's see if there's anything in the. An immature teenager marries a young biker but becomes disenchanted with the realities of working class marriage and a husband's relationship with his best friend. Hmm. Well, you can get this on Amazon. Look, streaming on Tubi, whatever that is, and rent or buy on Amazon. So you can go and watch this one then. There's some good stuff in it. There we are. I'll put you the link on there. Look. Rita Tushingham, Colin Campbell, and Dudley Sutton. Dudley Sutton was in Lovejoy, wasn't he? There's rumours they're going to remake Lovejoy. He looks very young there. Lovejoy with Ian McShane, the rogue antiques dealer, was filmed in Suffolk. With quite a few antique shops that I used to go in as a kid, quite funnily. Hmm. Is there going to be any arcade in the trailer? Overwash it up, you slag. Well, it's all looking very 60s. I've never heard of it before. Might have to watch it. Bit of bikers fighting each other. Marvellous job. What can you want? Well, there you go then. That's one to look up. What have they got in the pictures on here? Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, there we go. Look. Got it a bit small. I'll zoom in. There you go. Look what we got on there. We got an orange palmistry, a Waltonian merchandiser. They're at a bowling machine of some sort. Palmistry machine there. Look, bowling machine, some pinballs. Excellent. Good find. Didn't know about this one. Ace Cafe. Look, that's still there in London, as I'm sure most of you know. Right opposite a big prop place. You get a lot of props off TV. The massive building on the other side of the road, pretty much. Hmm. Well, that looks definitely worth a watch, doesn't it? I'll put the link to the media page up. I'm sure you'll find it, but I'll put it on there anyway. Have a look at that. With Tinker from Lovejoy, yeah. So yeah, I think there's apparently going to remake Lovejoy. Interestingly. Excellent. The film we were talking about had Ray Winston. Yeah, it did, didn't it? I can't think what it's called. Let me zoom back out of this. Ray Winston. Oops. Ray Winstone. Was it? Is it called something like Was it like the summer or something? It was a good few years ago, wasn't it? Let's have a look. When was it? 80s or 90s or something? Made a lot of films, didn't he? That Summer. That's what it's called. His character was called Steve, apparently. Interesting. Ray Winston is Steve. Look, there we are. How appropriate. Yeah, That Summer with Ray Winston. Is that available on anything at the moment? Don't think it's showing anything at the minute. You might find it if it's might be out on DVD or something. There we are. There's a link for that. It was on Talking Pictures this weekend. Oh, was it? There you go. I never watched the telly. I should do, shouldn't I? I make television, I just don't watch it. Let's have a look at the pictures on this one. Was there any pictures in the arcade? There's the oh, there's only 4 photos. That's a bit naff, isn't it? Oh. It's a bit crap. Yeah, it's quite a long clip actually in the arcade. I have it was on something because I watched it. It might be on Amazon. It'd be anything I'd watch it on. I haven't got Netflix or anything. The I've got is unless I might be on YouTube possibly. I have watched it. It's quite a good clip of the arcade in Torquay. It's supposed to be. Is that where it was actually filmed? Has it got any filming locations? Imperial Hotel, Torquay. Looks like it was all in Torquay then. I imagine the arcade would be in Torquay, as the other locations are. In 1978, this film, look. Summer 78. There we go. Crompton's Penny on Ice. Yeah, another machine I'd love to see. Crompton's Penny on Ice. Crompton's Penny on Ice. One of those. A good looking thing. Crompton's Penny Play Champion. Yes, that one's worth a watch as well. Marvellous. Anyway, good grief, look, it's almost 10 o'clock. Where's the evening gone? If anybody's still on, I think there is. You must be mad. Haven't you all got beds to go to? I think I need another cup of tea. So I shall, I think it might be time to sign off. Remember it well. All said. So tomorrow, I'll try and get a few bits together for tomorrow evening. We'll do another live stream. If you can't tune in live, you can always catch up with it afterwards. You know how to do that. It'll be on the YouTube thing. I'll put a link up tomorrow. I will endeavour to dig out those Canvey Island pictures of the big heap of derelict machines which were stored at the back of Canvey Island Casino in the thing. And what else was I going to try and find? Whatever else was I said I was going to try and find? A World's Fair or a coin slot or something to have a look at. And scan a few bits in before I come onto the live stream so I can actually show you the pages in the newspaper, as it were. Some of these interesting things. Good stuff, eh? And yeah, if anybody's got anything, send it over. And yeah, these pictures that Brian sent me and Stephen sent me, I'll download those as well. Make a note on here or I'll forget. If anybody else has got anything interesting, send it over and we'll try and make the videos a bit more interesting. Either email them to me or WhatsApp them to me or something, whatever. And I can download them because I have to make them the right size to broadcast back out onto YouTube and put them on the right place on my computer so I can get them to broadcast out, if that makes sense. So I can't do it on the fly, unfortunately, but yeah, send them to me that I can download them, sort them out, make them the right size, and we can put them up and see them. Marvellous. Sinclair says, thanks for tonight's info, very interesting. There's lots of interesting info out there. Yeah, that's why I want to get loads more on the website over time. Gary's at work tomorrow, but will give me something to watch later when I've got my feet up in the train cab. Yes, exactly. Watch it after. Very good. Right. That'll be it then, I think. Thank you all very much. And I will catch you tomorrow night. Or on the re-record if you're busy tomorrow night. On the replay thing, whatever you call it. So I'm going to go and have a cup of tea. And on my actual day off tomorrow, a long time since I've had a day off, to do nothing, I shall find a few interesting bits, stock a few bits up for future live streams. And I'll catch you tomorrow night. Marvellous. Thank you very much. Nighty night. See you tomorrow. I shall put on here. Tomorrow. There you go. Excellent. Right, that's it. Nighty night.